Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sarah, and I've been on a weight loss journey the last 10 weeks. This is the end of my 10th week. So today I'm going to talk about how the week went and also share with you what I ate today. And I'm also going to talk about some changes that I'm thinking about making going forward. I want to say thank you for watching my videos and for all the comments that you leave me. It really means so much to me. I've been struggling a lot the last week, just struggling in general with motherhood and adjusting to all the changes. And it helps so much having your support. So I really can't thank you enough. I know there's a lot of people that watch and don't comment, and I feel your energy still. I know what it's like to be a silent viewer because I'm very much that way with a lot of the content that I support and watch, but it still means so much to me to have your support. And yeah, I really feel that. So even if you don't leave a comment, thank you so much for being here. I've been pounding water throughout the night and this morning because yesterday was not a great day. I ended up eating off plan yesterday, and it was not like a planned, thought out, intentional thing. It was totally spur of the moment during one of his naps. I just ordered food, not healthy food. It was not even good. I immediately regretted it. It could have been a lot worse. I like almost went and got like more food and more food and more food, but I stopped myself. I'm happy about that at least, but I'm really bummed that I did go off plan. It made me so thirsty. I was like pounding water all night and so far all morning. It is 10 o'clock. I'm feeling really hungry for breakfast, and I think I'm gonna make a smoothie. There's a smoothie that I used to make a while ago. I was totally hooked on it for like months, and I've just been craving it again. So I will show you what that is. Start with a roasted peeled sweet potato. I prefer a Japanese sweet potato, but this is all that I had. And then use a packet of silken tofu. I usually cut it into cubes and then just drop it in like this and scrape off all the excess. This is also really good with some frozen berries like blueberries, but I was planning to share this with my son and I didn't want to introduce too many new ingredients. He's had everything in this smoothie except for the spinach, and I wanted to just keep it with one new ingredient in case he has allergies or anything like that. So I added the rest of this packet of raw spinach, and then I added a frozen banana. If you like it really sweet, I would add maybe two bananas. This is a little bit less sweet, but I like it that way. And then I added a bunch of cold water and also some soy milk. This is really great too if you can freeze the sweet potato in advance. I wasn't thinking ahead, so I didn't do that, but I recommend doing that if you want to make this smoothie. I had enough here for about 2.5 of these giant cups. So I took my time getting through this morning, and it turned out really delicious. And my son loved it too. While I was eating this and throughout the morning, I also snacked on some steamed green beans. These are one of my favorite non starchy vegetables. I love them. And then later in the day, I made this big component bowl with the rest of the green beans as the non starchy vegetable. And then I had a bunch of rice. There is green onion, tomato, hot sauce. I was holding my son and he was moving around a lot, so I had a hard time getting the camera steady. I was pretty proud of how this one turned out appearance wise. Usually I just throw them together and they don't look super nice, but I made this one look really pretty, and then I ate it while I was hanging out playing with my son in his little baby gym. I know that the lighting is terrible in here. I'm sorry. It's the best I can do right now to avoid waking up the little guy. It's funny because when I wear these blue blockers, since they block blue light, I like can't tell if everything is working. Like my microphone has a little blue indicator light and I look at it and I'm like, oh crap, I forgot to turn it on. But no, it's just because I'm wearing these. And same thing with like the green indicator light on my phone. It's like really muted with these glasses on. So I'm like, wait, crap, is everything working? But Yeah, it is. I highly recommend getting something like this if you're trying to get better sleep at night. It is crazy how much light, especially short wavelength light, we're exposed to at night when um, we really should have the lights dim to help with melatonin production and just avoiding our biological clock getting shifted. Anyways, I'm a big sleep nerd. So the footage that you saw earlier was filmed 2 days ago on Sunday. So now it is Tuesday that I'm finally getting back on the camera to film. And um, the rest of my Sunday ended up being terrible. After I put my son down to sleep, I passed into my boyfriend and I went to the store and I got like a bunch of junk food, all my favorite things that I've been thinking about for a while now. It was awful. It was like late, like by the time I got home, it was after 9. I was like sneaking inside to try not to wake anyone up. And my boyfriend knew, like I told him what I was doing and he like tried to talk me out of it. Like he's so sweet, but no, I had decided like I can't I can't like fight this urge anymore. Anyways, I like ate a bunch of my snacks before I went to bed, but I didn't want to go like too crazy because I was going to be sleeping with my son the rest of the night because we usually co-sleep. My boyfriend usually like watches him either in the crib or will hold him for his first stretch of sleep, which is usually like 3 to 4 hours. And then he passes into me and I sleep in bed with him the rest of the night. So I didn't want to be feeling like totally like sick, and ill while I was sleeping with my son. So I didn't go like too overboard. But then the next day, Monday, I did. I was basically like grazing on all this junk food all throughout the day to the point that that's not entirely true. My day started off good. In the morning, I had like a healthy breakfast, and then after that, like I just went off the rails to the point where I made myself feel so physically ill. I actually started throwing up. I was so nauseous. My boyfriend called me around like 3 o'clock just to like check in and see how the day was going. And I just broke down and started crying on the phone. I was like, I feel so sick. Like I could barely move. I was like laying in bed with my son, trying to like play with him in bed. Had so much guilt because I was being like basically a terrible mom, and I just felt so sick. Like I could barely move. My boyfriend had one more customer that he needed to go see, and they were like super cool and chill. He was able to reschedule with them and come home. Obviously, I felt so bad. And he came home, like took over, and I was basically in bed like the rest of the night. I had to nurse my son, and I usually like kind of take the lead on the bedtime routine because I don't know, my son just really needs that. He's just like really we're attached. We're like this. So I still had to like power through all of that, and it was absolutely brutal. And I wanted to film so badly because I wanted to have it documented, like what I did to myself so that I could look back on it and remember. But I was so sick. I couldn't even like pick up the camera and film. I just could barely function. That whole night like sucked because I just wasn't feeling well. And usually this is the other thing is usually when I do this, I will do this where I will like binge or just eat crap until to the point that I feel physically so ill that I'm like, okay, I'm done, and I just throw away all the rest of my food. And I have to take it to like a dumpster or something because I if I put it in my trash can, I will eat it out of the trash. Unless I don't know, I've heard people like putting soap on their food or things like that. I could do that, I guess, but I rather just like get it like totally out of my sight. So I had everything in a bag ready to like take out to the dumpster, but I was so sick I couldn't even get up to go throw it away. Then the next morning, which is today, same thing. Today I had to work and I got up, had healthy breakfast, and I was like, oh, thank goodness it's a new day. Like I feel so much better. I felt exhausted and just like kind of hungover feeling, but I, yeah, had a healthy breakfast, started my work day, and then something happened later in the morning that like caused me immense stress. And all I could think about was like the food that I had, the junk food that I still had in the house, which this is totally a thing. Like for me at least, this is like something that I do to handle uncomfortable feelings as I eat. And so I ended up eating more of my junk food, but I didn't go totally overboard. Like I had to work and I wanted to be able to walk on my treadmill. And so that did kind of like stop me, but it still didn't feel good knowing that I was purely eating for emotional reasons. Like I was a little bit hungry, but not really. So yeah, I ended up kind of throughout the day, like I would then have like a healthy meal, and then I would, for dessert have something not healthy. Yeah, that's what has been going on. So I feel like crap. I mean, I'm trying not to like totally beat myself up because it's just there's no point. Like it's not helpful. What's done is done. Like all I can do is learn from this and try to do better next time. I wanted to just share that's what's been going on with me, but then also I've been thinking and simmering a lot about my weight loss journey. I had this revelation, I think it was on Saturday. I kind of took a step back and was like, what am I doing? Like, I'm really trying to turn a new leaf. I don't want to be beating myself up the way that I used to. It's not helpful. I want to work on my negative body image and just get to a point where I at least just feel neutral. I don't know if I'm ever going to like love my body. That would be great to get there, at least appreciate, what I'm able to do, what I have done, making a baby, giving birth, all of that. But I want to at least be neutral about my body and not make that like such an important thing. It is what it is. I want to live my life and not feel chained to food and my body image. So these are all things that I really want. And I actually am not okay. So this is what I'm about to say. Um, Please don't take this as like judging you, if your beliefs are different than mine or you're on like a different journey than me or whatever. I'm not coming from a place of judgment or anything. This is just like me personally, how I feel. I'm not a fan of bounce back culture. I'm not a fan of women who think that, who moms who feel like they need to get their old body back as quickly as possible, just bounce bounce back. Like first of all, I don't think there really is ever going back. Like once you give birth, especially like the first time, which this actually wasn't my first time. This is my second time giving birth, but that's a whole different story. But you go through this initiation from maiden to mother, and it's a huge transformation, and you are never the same again. And then, with each subsequent pregnancy and birth, you continue to transform, and there is no bouncing back. Like you can continue to evolve, maybe upgrade and change and work on your body and things like that. Absolutely. I think that's amazing, and I want to do that. But there actually is no going back. There's only going forward. And like I said, I'm actually not a fan of like bounce back culture. And I had this epiphany over the weekend where I was like, I don't actually know who is watching my videos. I'm getting comments from you, and some people don't leave comments, and I don't really know a lot about, you. I've certainly not met you before. There could be young young women or girls who are watching my videos who think that I'm promoting this bounce back culture and this I need to reach a certain weight, maybe look a certain way by a certain time, and sharing pictures of what I used to look like and how I want to get back to that. And it just like occurred to me that if I have a daughter one day, I wouldn't want to promote this kind of journey to her. And I wouldn't want to promote that really to anyone, honestly, because I don't agree with it. And it just made me realize that I've just been operating from the old me, from the the me that's like a lower vibration that I'm trying to break away from and trying to evolve away from. And so I do want to get to a healthy weight for my size. I do want to put on muscle and lose some fat. And I do want to feel good in my body, and I do want to be able to move with ease, and I want to be able to run around with my son and carry him and play with him and maybe even get pregnant again, do all these things that require me to be healthy. And so that is those are my like goals and my North Star. But I want to come at this from a place of love and respect and really nurturing myself and taking care of myself. I don't want to be operating from this place that I am used to operating at. And I realize I've just been like I don't know, like a robot and just letting my old self take over and these old habits and the way that I used to always do things. And that's not who I want to be. That's not how I want to do things. That's not what I actually believe. So I think I'm going to make some changes to better support, where I am and where I want to go and what I actually believe, which is not that I don't think it's important to bounce back as fast as possible, at all costs. Again, this is just me. This is not, if you have done that, and you're like trying to bounce back, etc., that's great. I support you. I'm happy for you, and I will, if there's any way I can help you, leave a comment. I will totally cheer you on. But for me personally, it's not who I want to be. And so I'm going to really work on healthy habits, and that starts with, treating myself with love and care and not putting poison in my body to the point where I'm feeling physically ill and throwing up. That's not good. That's not who I want to be. I want to fill myself with nourishing foods. I want to move my body because it's good for my body. I want to build strength because it's good for my bones and because it's going to allow me to move with ease and do things with my son. I want to run because it's great for my mental health. It makes me feel so good. Walking makes me feel so good. I think I'm going to take a break or I already have the last couple of days. Starting on Sunday, I decided I would take a break from weighing myself every day because, again, that's just, to me, it's just, what is that doing? That's making me obsess over this number so that because I'm trying to reach a certain number when that's not really what my goal is. Like my body's going to settle where it's going to settle if I just do the work that I should be doing. So that's really where I want to focus. And that's what I've been thinking a lot about and reflecting a lot on. And obviously I have work that I need to do still. I have, demons that I need to fight. I have habits that I'm trying to break. It's scary to admit this and it's embarrassing to admit this, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever going to fully stop binge eating. I truly don't know. And that's really scary to admit. Like, I want to sit here and be like, yeah, go Sarah. Like you can do this. You're going to fight this. You're going to overcome this. And I'm never going to stop trying. That is for sure. And I hope that I will, but I don't actually know. And that's really uncomfortable. That was a lot. I'm still fully here and I'm still fully on this journey. I'm continuing to evolve like anybody else is. And I want to make this change that I think is going to be really positive. And I hope that when you watch my videos, you will feel that and, give yourself permission as well, if that's what you need, to focus on doing the work that is going to make you feel good and, help you step into the life and the person that you ultimately want to be. And if there's habits and things that you've been doing because you've just been going through the motions and it's so ingrained in you, but you know it's not serving you, maybe you can take time to reflect on that and see, if where you can shift, where you can make a change and move towards what is more in alignment for you. That's what I'm going to be doing. So thank you so much for watching and for supporting me. It honestly means the world. I can't tell you enough. I love getting your comments. It makes my whole day. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. I'll probably share what I eat in a day, and I know that this is going to be a little bit uncomfortable for me, honestly, because I am so used to just operating a certain way and being so rigid and so structured and like, okay, I have to do XYZ to achieve, ABC, like whatever goal I'm trying to achieve. And I'm having a new approach of like coming from a place of really loving myself and honoring myself, really nurturing myself, not restricting myself, coming from this place of like punishment, which is really where I used to come from. It's a mindset shift, and I know that's going to be challenging for me, and it's going to be uncomfortable for me. So I'm going to have a lot to share about all of this in the upcoming days and weeks, and I hope that you will stick around to hang out with me. So thank you so much. I will see you soon.